have a YouTube channel as well. So I've had a lot of people reach out who found the podcast on Spotify or iTunes and like, whoa, we didn't realize you had a YouTube channel. So so if you're listening, we have a YouTube channel. If you're watching, go rate us on the iTunes store. That's the first order of business.
Yes.
All right. Second mini order of business is next Friday at 7 p.m.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be
It's gonna be good, and I'll probably release earlier in the day on Friday. We'll probably post who's coming.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be a very.
Let's just say this: when we started this podcast, we love the YouTube community. We're always gonna have backpacking YouTubers on, but this podcast is not a backpacking specific podcast. Nope. Backpacking YouTuber specific podcast.
It's outdoors.
It's outdoors. Definitely backpacking focused, but we want to have people in the outdoors industry, experts in the outdoors industry. So next Friday, we've got that.
Yeah, and
but
there's a twist.
It's not what you think. So next Friday on Instagram, I'll post a teaser.
Yeah,
and there could be a lot of people. Yeah, because I'm gonna post who we have in several Facebook groups that have thousands of members. Mm-hmm. And there could be a lot of people. So stay tuned for that. Okay.
We're going to need a lot of moderator support.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We got all that out. Okay. Next order of business. What are we drinking?
We're drinking 1792 Bottled in Bond.
What's bottled in bond mean?
It means, oh God, there's like 4 things. It's 100 proof.
Oh, so bottled in bond is a flat 100 proof.
It's 100 proof.
Okay.
And it's stored in a government controlled and inspected warehouse. And I think there's a few other things. So that's bonded. That's what bonded means.
Also, people in the chat, make sure our audio levels are doing good here.
Yeah.
They sound good to us, but you never know. If you couldn't tell, we got these sick new mics.
Yeah, these are sweet.
Super expensive. This is like what the pros use.
But the sound quality is so much better.
The sound quality is good, and you can tell I can be like all the way back here, and it's still pretty good. Like our old ones, you had to be like right up in it. So anyway, tell us if our audio is good. This is a self-produced show.
It's
okay. We don't have a person over there producing it. So, all right. So we got this is $40 bottle, correct?
Yeah, like 40 to 60 somewhere.
And is this supposed to be good?
Supposed to. I've never had it.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Worth $40.
Yeah,
definitely.
Cool. I forget how much I paid for it, but yeah.
And what's the other one?
The other one is we need to kill this next. This is the Rabbit Hole. A red one finished.
I've had that one before.
Sherry cast.
That's
this
good.
is a pricey one.
That's like $80 or $100, right?
Yeah, really good. Really good.
And also, the topic of today's live stream will be our hiking plan. I mean, it's a regular live stream.
Yeah,
post your comments in the chat.
We got some stuff.
Stuff to open too. Now my wife says just seems a lot quieter than normal. All right, I'm going to turn us up a little bit. See, if you didn't know, Andy and I have headphone volumes.
And then there's board volumes.
There's board volumes.
And they can get a little tricky. Last week, if you watched the BSing with Barry from Alone, there was some audio issues. Yeah. Look, I love how the video is just your arm.
Okay. All right. My wife now text me back wherever my phone went and tell me if that's better. You might have to scroll down to the chat.
Yeah, I'm in it.
Like the most recent chat because we're talking about the audit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. What were you talking about?
I was talking about how
now we sound super loud.
I think it's because you just turned the headphones up.
Turn that far right knob, the black one. Yeah. Turn that down. Okay. No.
Whatever.
No. I think that is adjusting our volume. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay. Sorry. What were you saying?
We had some audio issues with Barry last week.
Honestly, though, I went back and listened to it.
I didn't think it was that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
I know.
Okay. We were louder than him.
By the way,
but it wasn't like atrociously bad.
If you guys haven't watched or listened to the podcast with Barry from season 6 of Alone, you need to do that. It was so good.
It was. Listen, I love talking to everyone that we talk to. I'm so happy when people want to spend time with us. But that was without a doubt one of the most interesting conversations regarding the outdoors I might have ever had. And after that podcast, I was like, man, this is why we do podcasting. It was so much, and he was such a cool guy. I mean, look at this. I can talk all the way from back here.
I know. I can still get the same like levels in my headphones.
It's sick. But he was so interesting to talk to. He was very talkative. He was really into it. And if you're a fan of the show Alone,
and you need to be,
it's that podcast with him is a must watch if you're a fan of the Alone show.
Yeah.
And that goes along with the theme, like we're going to be talking to outdoorsy people, where they're not all necessarily going to be backpackers,
not necessarily backpackers,
and they're not necessarily going to be YouTubers. That wasn't we started this channel, we only had backpacking YouTubers on. Now we can get other people on. We're still going to have your favorite YouTubers, obviously, but we like having interesting conversations, and that might not be with YouTubers every week.
Yeah. And
there'll probably be less of these one-offs with Andy and I as we get more guests, but we're still going to do these, obviously.
Yeah, and I want to give a little hint
of who we have next week.
Yeah, but you're not going to get it from this hint. But I will say I'm reading a book in order to prep.
And he is a tenured professor.
Yep,
we'll say that.
And I'm reading a book to prepare.
Yeah, and he's like a legitimate expert. But you guys just wait till next Friday.
Bring your tin foil.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about hiking plans. We got some new food people sent us. I don't know if we're going to try it, but we should talk about it. It's kind of a cool concept.
Yeah. Here, we'll give them a shout out. They sent it to us for free. So
okay. What's the,
hold on. I'm pulling it up.
Okay. I'll discuss the concept of this while you pull this out. So this is a company where
they're called Right On Trek Adventure. Right On Trek.
Right On Trek is what's the website? RightOnTrek.com. I saw that. Is that some chocolate?
RightOnTrek.com. Yeah.
So RightOnTrek.com. Oh, we get some chocolate? Okay. So what you do, and people reach out to us all the time. Usually it's crap. And so when people reach out to us and like, we got this, I'm like, all right, whatever. It's food. Okay. Send it to us. All right.
Food's expensive. Oh, look at these condo packets.
Oh, okay. So the point of this is a little bit different than your everyday backpacking meal thing. So what you do is you go to their website and you tell them how many days you're going, how many days you need food for. You tell them how many calories you want. And there are other considerations. You got food allergies. You like spicy food. You like coffee versus tea, et cetera. And you fill out this little survey and they build your entire days of food and send it to you in the days.
Yeah, based on your calorie restrictions, your diets, like you set it all up. So
it actually is pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you're the type of person, I'm trying to think like who would use this.
Honestly,
weekend warriors.
Yeah, and if you are like in a pinch and you're going backpacking and you don't have time, like if there's a trip coming up, you're like, shit, I don't have time to go through meal. I need 3 days of food. This is what I want. Blah. I mean, so the price. So I will say, I don't think the price is terrible.
It's
so
$20.
$20 a day.
Yeah.
So and you get. I mean, so we'll go through.
This is 2,000 calories.
Yeah, so for $20 you get 2,000 calories. This is day one, and it's sorted by like breakfast, lunch, dinner. Did you pick anything? Or you just did like wild card. So you can just if you don't care, just be like, give me whatever you want. When I was doing this, I was like, yeah, I want coffee. I don't want tea.
No,
like
we
that
got
kind
coffee.
of stuff. So okay, so we got some breadsticks. There's a lot of stuff in these. Thing of peanut butter, chocolate, cherry, almond. Dark chocolate. My wife would like that. Coconut curry rice. I believe this is the dinner.
Okay. 510 calories.
Sour Patch Kids.
Nice.
It's kind of cool. They give candy. Sweet and salty seed and fruit mix, so like a trail mix.
Okay.
Tuna packet. This is probably a lunch thing.
Maybe.
A Kind bar. Okay, so like not cheap stuff.
No.
All right. Another Kind bar.
What is that? Is that like milk powder?
Cream of wheat porridge. I think this is your lunch.
Oh,
okay. So just so you know, you can go in and pick stuff.
Yeah. I want
Andy just said, give me whatever. Yeah. You can pick stuff. So
we'll eat all this.
You don't need to get this.
Look at all these snacks.
And then, you definitely got tea. Oh no, here's the instant coffee.
Yeah, it's the Vietnamese coffee.
G7. I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it's Vietnamese coffee. I think it's got like sugar and cream in it too.
So what's your breakfast? Oh, this must be your breakfast.
Your lunch is probably this with some bars.
Yeah, so the breakfast is wheat porridge and coffee. The lunch is tuna. There's
peanut butter and breadsticks.
Peanut butter and breadsticks, tuna.
You're
nuts.
snacking.
This honestly isn't terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, a Mountain House is like $10 for one meal.
So somebody said in the comment, a penny per calorie.
Yeah. Okay. When you put it that way, it's not that bad.
No, I think
cheaper than Mountain House.
I think if you're the type of person,
Mountain House is like $10 for like 600 calories.
Yeah.
And you get variety. And you seriously, if you're curious, you could go on the website and play around. You don't have to get this stuff. You can get they have more traditional things. So that's day one.
That's nice.
Day two, and they come in these
bags.
They come in these nice bags. The bags are actually kind of nice.
And just to keep, we didn't tell them that we would do anything with these. We didn't tell them we'd feature them.
I'm trying to decide if I want to snack on any of this right now. No, they were pretty cool. I mean, especially when food companies reach out to us, we're like, you can send us food. There's no promises. Okay, day two, different tile. I kind of like these breadsticks.
Yeah,
for running. Breadsticks, a different kind of breadstick than the other one. Ooh, these look good. Have you seen these?
What's that?
Dehydrated sausages.
Oh, they're just little sausages.
They're like little Jack Link sausages.
Oh, that's cool.
So the one thing I will point out is this is not like cheap stuff.
No.
Like this is nice stuff. Yeah. Okay, your breakfast is oatmeal porridge.
Ugh.
Oh, this is their own.
Yeah.
Right on track. They make their own. Okay.
Oatmeal porridge, interesting. A
keto bar. So I think you can keto stuff is I think something you can select on their website. Gata noodles. That's actually cool. You should show that.
Yeah, it's like a noodle and a vegetable packet with soy sauce, hot sauce in there.
I don't have COVID.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's your dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do this for real. So you're having oatmeal porridge and coffee for breakfast. Okay. Your lunch is more snacks, sweet and spicy. Oh, this looks good.
What is that?
Sweet and spicy nut mix.
Oh yeah.
More seed and fruit stuff. More chocolate. More Kind bars.
Okay.
So I mean, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you're snacking for lunch.
You're snacking for lunch. We do that anyway.
That's a lot of snacks, though, to be honest.
This is not terrible.
I mean, 2,000 calories.
Yeah, for 20. I think all in with shipping and tax, I think it was like $41 or $42.
Yeah, and
for all of this.
Since we're YouTube celebrities, we got an extra thing of chocolate and hot sauce.
And we got got those condiments. So honestly, this is actually pretty cool.
We'll eat the crap out of this. Yeah, and then they sent us all the recipe book. They sent us recipe book and stuff like that too.
Yeah. So and we all. I mean, this is a
beef lasagna stew.
Yeah, this is a cottage vendor, American made. Good people kind of stuff. At least it seems like so. We like supporting that stuff. So
yeah, pretty cool.
But otherwise, it's actually kind of a cool shtick.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for sending us all this food. We'll definitely eat it.
Nobody's doing this. Like give me a whole meal prep day, right?
Yeah, it's
there's like more than 2,000 calorie day options too. Yeah. So let's say okay, and let's be real, 2,000 calories for most people ain't enough.
No,
so you probably, if you were going out for like 4 days, you'd probably supplement with some more food than that. So it'd be $80.
Yeah,
that's a lot. But for a weekend, a couple of day or two, it's not terrible. I guess $80. It's not, if you think about it. If you break it down, it's not that much.
Someone asked what the shipping time was. When I completed the order, I had it within like 3 days.
It was quick.
Yeah, it was real quick.
It was very quick.
I think it's like that niche of like, the weekend warrior who plans pretty far ahead for their trips. And
I mean, honestly, we spend a lot of time planning food.
Yeah.
I mean, more than gear. So if you want to cut that time out, I see that as a win for this too. If I'm going on a trip and I don't want to think, just give me a good, and I think variety is also
Do you have your scale? Someone asked what the weight of one of those bags was.
No, it's upstairs. It's not super heavy.
It's like
a pound or two probably for each one of those bags.
Yeah.
Now there's a lot of individually wrapped things.
Yeah.
But you could, in theory, before your trip, you could break down some of that for sure.
Yeah. I think it's cool too. Like, you can add to your inventory of snacks.
Yeah. I honestly, I was pleasantly surprised with this whole process.
Yeah. I haven't, we've had them for a little while. This is the first time we actually opened them up though. So
yeah. And we'll take them out on a trip. We always like to kind of show off the food on the live streams and then we'll take it out. But I mean, I know all that stuff will taste good. I'm curious to try the meals they're making.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's rightontrek.com.
Yeah. Rightontrek.com. Check it out. No sponsors or anything. They just send us some free food. So yeah, we'll talk about it.
We don't even commit to people that will even give you airtime.
No, we make zero commitments. Sorry. It can be irritating to work with us sometimes. All right. So we should probably talk about some hiking plans. So first off, it's kind of are there any comments we should pay attention to?
It's going to take me a little bit to go back through them.
Okay. Well, I'll talk a little bit while Andy does that. So, we took the hot tent out. I took the hot tent out with my dad. If you follow us on Instagram, and you should be if you're watching, Andy and I took the hot tent out again this past weekend.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Hold on. I want to get your thoughts on the hot tent, but what were you about to say?
I was going to say there was an excellent comment in here while we were starting up that said, because people were talking about weekend trips, like, isn't Ohio in lockdown?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
But we were in the hot tent by.
First off, Emperor DeWine did say if the numbers are better now, he's going to give us an extra hour.
Yes.
We're getting an extra hour, folks.
We were in the
11.
We were in the hot tent by curfew.
We were in the hot tent well before curfew. And I would like to know if his regulations apply to camping.
Yeah, because
you're outside.
Yeah, I'm not sure because they would have closed down.
Like, am I allowed to sit outside on my porch past 10? Probably.
I don't know.
They definitely did not shut down camping where we were.
No,
definitely didn't.
Yeah.
So we were in the hot tent. So we've done 2 hot tent trips. Overnighters. So whatever.
Yeah.
We're gonna do. What do you think? Probably at least 2 more hot tent trips.
At
least 2 more hot tent trips.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the hot tent?
I like it. It's a lot of work. Is it
a lot more work than you thought it would be?
Yes.
I was talking on the Facebook with. I also got current events too, by the way.
I have a good current event, and somebody was like, "Oh, they're probably going to talk about such and
about
such."
GameStop?
No.
Oh,
okay. I have a current event related to the outdoors.
Okay. Anyway, I was talking on the Facebook to Mr. It's Good in the Woods.
Oh, okay. Oh my God! I watched his. It's from a while ago. Build your own hot tent.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Tarp. Man, that's good.
Anyway, he was telling me because I've been talking to him a lot about hot tents. He was like, "Dude," he's like, "just take your 0-degree setups and just go to sleep." He's like,
He's not wrong.
He's like, don't. Because both nights I've gone out, I've just happened to be awake, and I never, even at home, rarely sleep 8 hours without waking up once.
Yeah.
So refeeding the stove is not an issue for me. But he was like, dude, just go to sleep. Don't worry about it. And I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, don't worry about fussing with it all night.
Like if it's 2 a.m. and it goes out, if you're warm, just you'll probably still have some coals at like 6 or 7 a.m. and just use those to get going in the morning. Because I think, honestly, and a little bit of surprise to me was I like the hot tent the most in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, because normally in the morning, in the winter, you're just freezing your ass off, sitting outside, huddled over a cup of coffee. It's so nice in the morning to wake up.
Just relax,
stretch out, and you have a stove going, so you have a continuous supply of coffee, water. Yep. I really like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that was sweet, and that's good advice too, because we kept the fire going all night, but it was a lower fire, and it was still pretty chilly in there. So like maybe not even a.
Well, and he was talking to me about the last trip I went that you weren't on, and he's like, first off, as you know now, you gotta work those coals for like 4 or 5 hours before you start putting heavy stuff in there.
And it's so right.
And like you gotta get that thing going at like 3 or 4 p.m. and let it go until like 9.
Yes.
And just build up like a cauldron of coals. And we didn't really do that.
No, and we learned that we need to pay. Like you gotta really work that fire.
Yeah, and you gotta split some wood.
A lot of wood,
especially for those overnight logs. Or I think there could be a good strategy of just get a ton of stuff that's like that.
And that was kind of a pain in the ass too of the stove, is that it's a small stove. It does a good job. It's a small stove though, so you
can get bigger ones.
I know. It's real particular around how large the sticks have to be.
It's definitely the most technical. And I know I've never used a wood stove before, but I'm finding out that it's like super technical. But
the results are fantastic.
I mean, when you get that thing flared up, it's like 60 degrees in there, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's so nice just sitting back, kicking back.
Yeah, and you'll see there'll be a video coming out probably next week. I mean, you could hang out, and the one I got, you could hang out with 2 people and maybe 3.
I think we figured out a way to get 3 people in that one.
Hanging. Yeah, you probably can. You probably can get
sleeping
3 with chairs.
Yeah, and then you got to ditch the chairs, and then
and you could probably do 3 sleeping in there. If you could probably do it.
You got to keep the gear outside.
Gear's got to stay outside, and your wood pile's got to be consolidated to like that front area.
Yeah.
So anyway, in terms of hiking trips, we've already done 2 hot tent trips. We'll probably do at least 2 more. We'll probably hot tent probably through March.
Yeah. No, we should take advantage of that thing. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, basically until there are bugs and the temps aren't like consistently above 40, I think we're going to be hot tenting. Yeah. I mean, we were out and it was 12 degrees and it was awesome. But I mean, if it's like 30, it'd be even way better. I mean, way warmer.
You need about 2.5 hours of prep time.
Well, you did it in like an hour.
Well, I'm just saying all the wood and then getting the stove up and running and getting it fed. I say you need 2.5 hours.
I think you need 4 to 5 hours of the stove running before you go to bed.
Yeah.
If you want it to go all night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot, man.
Yeah.
But I will say it's probably less overall work than building a massive fire outside in the winter.
It's way warmer too.
Way warmer, obviously.
Yeah.
How'd you like sleeping on the ground? Andy slept on the ground for the first time since like 2015.
I know. I was dreading it.
Really?
But I was fine.
Yeah, good setup.
Yeah, I was dreading it, but I was really comfortable actually. Damn.
Yeah?
No, hold on. I want to kill this bottle.
Well, I gotta finish this.
Okay. Well, chug that and then drink
I'm
this.
just gonna mix them.
Okay.
So this is Rabbit Hole.
Don't mix them. This is like $90.
All right, fine. Okay, I'll have it. After I finish this. I'm not chugging this. So you like the ground? Okay.
Yeah, the ground was good. It was real good. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's more comfortable than hammocks, but
this is the first conversation in many conversations where you're just back to a tent.
well, here's the thing. So maybe, but I won't deny that. But I will say,
in certain situations,
I mean, if you got a hot tent, I'm staying in the damn hot tent.
Dude, it's sick.
Yeah.
It's so much work, but it's sick.
Yeah.
And another thing, and this is not going to be a hot tent podcast, but having a stove surface like that is really nice. Yep. I mean, we were skilleting stuff, coffee. I mean, it's just super nice. And I think I want to bring tea for the nighttime.
Decaf.
Decaf.
No, just decaf coffee.
Yeah. I feel like I want to take advantage of drinking warm stuff.
Yeah.
Because that does keep you warmer. All right. Anything? Comment, check?
Yeah, we'll take some questions. Sorry, someone called out. Take some questions.
We'll take some questions. No. If you guys are sitting through the ones where it's just us two, we'll pay attention.
All right. I'm going to start from the beginning a little bit and scroll through these really quick.
And we'll finish the hiking plans because we've talked a little bit about it on other platforms, but the huge trip that we are going to do.
We got 141 people in here right now.
Hey, everyone, thanks for coming.
Yes.
We got why Andy sifts through that. If you're just joining, rate us on the iTunes store. Next Friday, though, we have a professor who is an expert in one area of the outdoors, and it might be the most entertaining area of the outdoors. So set your calendars for 7 p.m. Eastern time next Friday. I'll be pumping it on Instagram. And everyone asks us, if you want to get notifications, hit the bell. That's another thing people ask us. It's like, well, you going live. Yeah, we don't always. Most of the time, we don't announce when we're going live.
No,
kind of like that. Kind of like the spontaneity of it.
It's literally Kevin and I texting back and forth, like, "Hey, you want to go live tonight?" It's like, "Yeah,
Yep.
oh, okay."
But the ones where we have guests, like where we've talked and we've planned with them, I do announce those a little bit more. And we're gonna have more experts in the outdoors industries. We're trying to lock up some more people, but I definitely want more experts.
So somebody, Dan Bezak asked, is that a bottle of Yellowstone I see in the background?
Yes.
So thoughts?
Yes.
Delicious. And then that's a store pick.
So I true story. Who asked this? Dan?
Dan.
True story, Dan. We were in Kentucky at Liquor Barn. No.
Yeah.
I got that at Total Wines. Anyway, that was not a store pick, right?
Yeah.
I've never had the Yellowstone bourbon before. I got it because the bottle was cool and it was like $40. It is excellent.
Yes.
But I can't say that the Yellowstone bourbon is excellent because it's a store pick, single barrel.
Single barrel select.
It's a single barrel select store pick. So I don't know if all Yellowstones are good, but it is very good. And I was very pleasantly surprised. And you agree.
Oh, yeah. It's delicious.
Very good.
Yep.
It might be the best $40 bottle of bourbon I've gotten, potentially.
Yeah.
It's a bold statement.
Yeah, that is bold. Oh boy, we got a lot of people in here tonight.
Thanks for joining. I hope you're all safe. I know we're not really in lockdown, but we're in this like weird phase where
Josh said
everyone's too scared.
Josh said he was trying to decide between watching The Patriot, reading a book, or this.
The Patriot is a great movie. I like The Patriot. Mel Gibson stabbing people with the American flag. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hatcheting people.
Yeah. Sorry, lots of comments here. I'm trying to find the questions.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We got plenty of stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Let me see. Oh, there's some Subaru talk here.
Oh, all right.
What's the weight of one of those bags? Any brisket going on?
No, but tomorrow I'm smoking something I've never smoked before. I'm smoking a chuck roast. So kind of like the poor man's brisket. So I got like a little pork shoulder and I got like a little chuck roast. So I'm going beef and pig in the smoker at the same time.
Yeah, that sounds good. It's been a while since we've done a brisket. I've only done one.
Unpopular opinion in this house. I think I like pork more.
I like beef ribs better than brisket.
I like beef ribs better than brisket and better than pork ribs. I think I might like pork more than brisket, but I like brisket. It's just, I could eat pulled pork all the time. I can't eat brisket all the time. It's super heavy.
Yeah. Randy Hayek says, I'm headed to Denali this year for a trip. That's freaking sweet.
That's awesome.
You guys ever consider off-trail stuff? Get your Andrew Skirka on.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, where we live, you can't. It's too overgrown. But I remember we were out in Colorado and also when I was out in California, it was weird to be somewhere where like there's the trail, but it's not overgrown. So you can go off trail and like you just like go into this valley or something, would love to do more stuff like that. We will be doing more stuff on the West Coast, but we're not Andrew Skirka. But that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be.
I'd like to go with someone who knows about that stuff.
Yep.
So,
Ben Hiking Outdoors said, y'all ever thought of through hiking the Foothills Trail? I've never looked into the Foothills.
That's in South Carolina, right?
Yes. Everybody talks about it.
Frozen just did it, right? Or Frozen did like 70 miles of it?
I don't know. Yeah. Frozen's in the chat.
Hey, Frozen, I want to go. I want to get a trip with you. I've been meaning to text you.
Can we can fit him in the hot tent.
He's tiny.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Or at the very least.
You're in the hot tent.
Well, at the very least, he can hang out in the hot tent with us. He doesn't have to sleep in the hot tent.
Yeah.
But Frozen, I've been meaning to text you. I know we've been talking. Let's get something on the books for February, March. It can be a quick, stupid weekend thing, but let's do that. I miss you, buddy. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a while.
I know.
Yeah.
Hiker Ray says, any advice for hiking the TRT, Tahoe Rim Trail?
So I've only done 40 miles of it. That's actually a lot now that I think about it.
You did 40?
Yeah. I did
two trips. Yeah,
like
that's
20-ish mile segments. So spoiler alert, that's our big trip this year. So we're doing 2 weeks, 170 miles on the Tahoe Rim Trail. The question was any like tips for it. Get the Tahoe Rim Trail Association app. It's like the Gut Hook app. that would be the first thing you probably know that if you're looking about through hiking it. Some good resources. Spaguyver just attempted it, but his videos are good for when he's on it.
Mm-hmm.
He knows a lot. There's a good forum for it. And the question people like struggle with is, do you go like counterclockwise or clockwise, and where do you start? And most people seem to go counterclockwise and start in South Lake, so you do the Desolation Wilderness last. That seems to be the most popular thing. I don't know what we're going to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We'll talk more about our specific plan at the end of this podcast when we get to that, because our plan for hiking the Tahoe Rim Trail is a little bit different because our sister lives out there, and we're going to get resupplies at set points, and we'll probably go off trail for a night. Other than that, a solid piece of advice is, because of the fire situation, have some sort of contingency scenario. Like you saw Spaguyver went out there and he couldn't do it. Always, if you're anywhere out west, and when we went to Colorado, it was the same thing. Always have some sort of contingency hike set up in case the fires are bad. Because unfortunately,
they are.
Now I'm hoping, because the fires were
really
so bad last year, I'm hoping it burned up all the underbrush and we're good to go this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know what our contingency plan is yet for that. It would probably be potentially go do the air, but you can't really do the AZT. Well, you could do the AZT in the fall. I don't know.
G. Berg asked, this is a great question. We kind of talked about this. With a hot tent, what temp quilt is ideal?
So this is a great question.
Because lots of discussion about this.
I'm going to refill. So when we first got the hot tent, we're like, oh, we can just skimp on, like, it's, 10 degrees out. We can bring 30-degree setups. Honest to God, the piece of advice I would give you is bring a setup rated to the environment, regardless of whether you're in a hot tent.
I mean, that's just smart, first of all.
That's smart. And also, are you trying to kill this?
Yeah, I'm good.
Here's how hot tent works. And it's a little, if you have two people in it, it's a little bit different. If you graphed out the internal temperature, and I actually could, because I have the data from my watch, it's gonna be parabolic. It's gonna seesaw. So you're gonna feed the fire, it's gonna get hot, and then it's gonna die down. And then you feed the fire, and it's gonna go hot, it's gonna go down. To maintain any sort of warmness in there, you gotta feed that fire every 1 to 2 hours.
Oh, more than that.
If you feed it smartly, I think you can get away. Your problem is you're gonna go to sleep.
Yeah.
Now, when you have two people, it kind of worked out for us. Is, like Andy would be asleep and I would feed it, and he would, and I would be asleep and he would feed it. But inevitably, it's going to get cold in there.
Yeah.
It'll be warmer than the outside elements,
but still pretty cold.
Yeah. So Andy and I brought our 0-degree quilts.
And I'm glad I did.
I was more than warm.
Yeah, I was
did
too.
not. I mean, the temperature outside was about 11 or 12 degrees, and the temperature inside the hot tent throughout the night, at night,
40.
It was between 30 and 50 degrees.
Yeah.
Waffling back and forth depending on, now when we're awake and have the fire raging, you get up to 60 degrees in there. But at night, 30 to 40 degrees. And we had 0-degree setups, and obviously we're more than warm.
Yeah,
but
it was super comfortable.
But it was nice to know. Well, you were on an Xtherm. I mean, you had a very warm setup.
Yeah, it was nice.
I was on the Tensor, so to answer your question, I would bring a quilt rated to being outside and just err on being super warm.
But that also is you probably should do that anyways. Like if you can't get the stove working or you can't get a bunch of wood.
Right. I just bring a setup rated to the elements, and then you'll be happily surprised. Like I didn't wear my down jacket the entire trip, which is something I've never done on a winter trip that was 11 degrees outside. So that shows you how warm it stays in there. But I was glad I had it. Good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. All right.
This is so much different than that other bourbon.
I know.
It's crazy.
It's a finished bourbon.
It's sweet. It's finished in sherry casks, so you can taste that. It's good though. It's very good.
I think I like the 1792 better. Whoa. Yeah.
Bold statement. Next question.
Devin says the work is worth it and stay busy with it being so cold in short days.
So
definitely.
Devin brings up a really good point, and something actually Bryce, we talked about in the Smokies. I did not mind. Now, Andy processed all the wood on this trip, but on the previous trip I did, and I didn't mind there's nothing else to do in the winter, man. And
Yeah.
You want to stay warm, and a great state is like before the hot tent's going, a great way to stay warm is to process wood.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else to do. And so in the winter, you don't mind the work as much.
No,
you know,
it was fine. It just takes a while.
You know, it takes a couple hours of work, and then you're set up, and then you're set up, you know, through the next morning, which is kind of nice. It's nice in the morning to wake up. You still got a cold bed, throw some wood in there. I mean, and then that was awesome. Get your coffee going. In the winter, in the morning, it just sucks normally. You're just like freezing cold. You got to crawl out of the sleeping bag. You got to make your coffee, and you're all sitting there, and you're just freezing cold. In the hot tent, you're not like that at all.
No. All right, next question. Ginger Rush. My brother burned the bottom of his Tokes pot. It looks like it's flaking off the bottom. Toss
Really?
it? Question mark.
I wouldn't want to be ingesting titanium.
No, I'd say toss it.
I would contact them, honestly.
Yeah.
I've used the crap out of my Toke stuff, and that's never happened. So maybe it just got like super hot.
Yeah.
I would contact them and be like, hey, I don't want to eat titanium.
Irene Wolf says, Adirondack warmer than a tent on the ground in the winter. Not quite sure what that means.
Maybe one of those shelters.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Evan Hammond says, come to Alberta, Canada, hike the Rockies, and fish for alpine fish.
Dude, that sounds awesome, man. Yeah. Invite us out.
Yeah.
Invite us out. We'll come out there.
Oh, this is hilarious. Ginger Rush says, if Kevin keeps drinking, we're going to know who the professor is next.
No, I'm not telling. I might say it at the very end, like literally right before I click off. This is just good. It's been a while.
Gary B says Angels Envy is my favorite.
Solid.
Yep.
It's very good. The only bourbon I've ever had that's worth $100 a bottle.
STL Tony says Wild Turkey 101. Gobble gobble.
We got some wild turkey back there.
Yeah, we do. Let me see here. Dan said, this is responding to your comment. Thanks. I come for the bourbon reviews. Stay for the outdoor chat. That is a bold statement.
Love to have you, Dan.
Considering you're swimming in Weller in Ohio. We are. So that's interesting.
This is a good point. Andy and I talk about this all the time.
Yeah, we are swimming in Weller.
So here's the deal with Ohio. And when I went to Kentucky specifically to purchase bourbon, I was like, oh, this is weird. And same thing in Nevada.
Nevada has great selection.
Yeah. In Ohio, you can only buy liquor at a licensed state liquor agency distributor. So we don't have Total Wines. We don't have Party Source. You can't buy liquor at Costco here. You can only buy it at a state licensed agency. So that it kind of sucks, but it also means that because they are state liquor agencies, they can't mark up the price.
Right. And but also on the negative, the state controls the quantity and the stock.
The state entirely, it's like a cartel. They entirely control the stock. So there's a lot less of it. But the good news is now we do get a lot of Weller.
We've got tons of Weller.
We weirdly get a lot of Weller. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, you can get green, special reserve, and antique pretty much every week.
Yeah, if you know where to go. Yeah. And the good news is when you go to buy that stuff, it's effectively MSRP. I mean, it's a little bit above what the distillery charges for it, but it's not like where you go to like Total Wines and people are just like gouging you for price.
Yeah, no, they have to sell it by
there's
Ohio's
only
retail.
Yeah,
price.
There's only a certain amount of markup they can do to it, so it's like a good and a bad. The selection's not as good, but it's not as expensive, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh, Evan Hammond says, can you recommend the perfect budget hammock setup?
It's a great question.
I would like to know the budget.
I know. I think the question is like a value,
right?
So what's the best value? So okay, first let's talk about. We have experience with Dream Hammock Darien, War Bonnet Blackbird XLC, Dutchware Chameleon, Dutchware Banyan. So we have experience with 4 hammocks.
So out of those 4, I'd probably say the most budget one is the Chameleon.
The Darien or the Chameleon might be the cheapest. I don't know which one's the cheapest between those two.
But I also think the Chameleon, with all the accessories and the mods you can do to it, probably puts it in it maybe the most effective for your money.
Yeah, either the Darien or the Chameleon, probably. And then in terms of budget stuff, I think the Hammock Gear Econ line is the best.
Yeah, and you can get still nylon tarps for under $100 easy.
Yeah, I would say go to UGQ and get a tarp, but they ain't making tarps anymore, Chad. They've got too much work on their hands. Yeah, get a good still tarp. Andy got the Dutchware Xenon. We gave that away though, right?
Yeah, it was like $70.
Yeah, the Dutchware made a Xenon tarp that we gave away on our live stream in Black Friday. That was a great tarp for $70.
Yeah.
And I have a Winter Dream Palace tarp that they're not making right now for $100 for a huge tarp with doors. That was awesome too.
Yep.
So there's your setup.
There you go.
Yeah.
Definitely the Hammock Gear Econ for your insulation.
For sure.
All right. Let me see here. It's in the woods says.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah.
Nice.
I invited you to New Hampshire, LOL.
I know. Yeah. So we did, true story. We talked about this. We got invited to go to the Whites in early March. We can't commit to it right now, Justin. I told you, got too much stuff up in the air. But I did tell him we are going to go to the Whites.
Mm-hmm. At some point, everybody's
100%.
like, you need to go to the Whites, and we will definitely go with you.
And he's awesome, and he's a hot tenor. And I sent him an SBO sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Sent him an SBO sweatshirt. He's an awesome dude. I appreciate him a lot. He gives me a lot of good feedback on hot tents via Facebook Messenger. So nice to know he's here.
Yep.
He just got an Octopeak as well. He has 4 hot tents. He has 4 hot tents.
I know.
Insane.
I like
awesome.
that. I like that Octopeak.
Yeah. Pretty sweet.
All right. Cameron Youngstrom says, you guys ever done the North Fork Mountain Trail in West Virginia?
No, I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of that
but
either.
I'm always looking for good stuff in West Virginia because of its proximity to where we live. West Virginia is awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. It's 3 hours away from us. 4 hours. It's awesome. What's that? So write that down. West Fork.
Yeah. Andrew Sherman says, I would highly encourage everyone who's going to hike the TRT to join the TRT Association.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, absolutely. I think I did last year or 2 years, and I bought the app too. The app was not cheap, but get the app. It supports the association as well.
Yeah.
And they do a really good job with that trail. Like, it's really well marked. They do trail maintenance. It's well done.
Yep. Sorry, just a lot of people commenting. I appreciate
I'll
it.
keep talking about our hiking plans here.
Yeah, let's go to another hiking plan.
Okay, so we kind of discussed we're going to do some hot tent stuff through. And the reason we're doing this as a podcast is normally every year we release a video that's like our hiking plans, and we're just like, we'll just do a podcast. So we're going to hot tent through March at least. Now,
in various locations.
An interesting, yes.
We're still learning the hot tent though, so we need practice.
We're still learning the hot tent. Now, the late spring, early summer, I don't know if you're coming with me. I'm going back to Colorado in August. I'm going out there for other reasons, but I'm going to crack out probably another section of the Colorado Trail. I don't know if you're coming with me yet.
I don't know. We'll see.
If not, I'll do that solo. So that'll be in August. But the May, June, July, we're open. We've talked about some things.
There's a question here, like next out of state trip. We've got some ideas going on right now.
So we're in talks with McKelvey Brothers Outdoors right now. We are probably going to do another combo backpacking fly fishing trip, probably in West Virginia. If anyone in the chat has any recommendations for a good winter fly fishing spot in the Ohio, like not in Ohio, but in a radius around Ohio, please help us out.
Yeah.
We're looking at Shaver's Fork right now. It's another spot in West Virginia. Probably our next out of state trip might be that, unless we do something else. But yeah, we're still trying to figure out the like April, May, June stuff. And then, we've talked about it in August, September, we are doing the Tahoe Rim Trail in its entirety. 170 miles, like 12 days. It will be the longest single distance hike we've ever attempted. We did a We did about 96 miles on the Colorado Trail. This will be 170. So, and if you're just listening and you don't know what the Tahoe Rim Trail is, I mean, it's literally a trail that goes on the mountain range that lines Lake Tahoe. So it's about probably 60 to 65% in California.
Yeah.
And then about 35% in Nevada. Just view after view after view. You know, for about half of it, you're in the Sierra Nevadas. And then the other half, you're in whatever mountain range is out there. That's not the Sierras. I don't know what it's called. And you go, it's very cool. So check it out if you're interested. The PCT goes on it for quite some time. So you hit the PCT, but that's going to be our big trip. You know, barring any wildfire would be the only thing. You know, luckily we don't have to deal with COVID.
Yeah.
You know, right?
Maybe.
I don't know. So.
Maybe.
COVID be damned. We're doing it.
Yeah. All right. Pat's Place to Be is in there.
Oh, hey, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Has he ever joined our live streams?
I've never seen him in here before.
We talk to you on Instagram all the time.
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. I'm just going through for questions. A lot of people are posting about their trips.
Anybody going on any cool trips?
Yeah.
Here's it. Good.
Yeah. This is from, I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Sorry. Kos-O. What quilt setup do you guys use for after winter weather setup, like after snow melts? I think we're both using like 20 degrees.
So no joke, I have a 0 degree quilt. I have a Costco quilt, which is like a 50 degree quilt.
Mm-hmm. And
recently our new thing is a 40 degree quilt. And then I have a 20 degree sleeping bag. Yeah. So I have a 0, 20, 40, 50. God, that's too many quilts.
Yeah. I'll switch immediately going into spring. I'll switch to a 20, or like early spring. I'll switch to a 20. And then for the summer through probably the fall to 40.
I will say the 40 degree quilts we have are UGQ quilts, which are awesome. Really like 30, 35 degree quilts.
Yeah.
In the summer, you can't use them. You got to use the Costco quilt in the summer. The 40 degree quilt is really like a fall, late spring. So to answer this person's question, after the snow melts, depending on the temp, either a 20 or a 40 degree.
Yeah.
I have the 20 degree I have is a sleeping bag, and it's my wife's, and it's awesome. And UGQ might be coming out with the sleeping bag.
Good. You know,
I've never asked him enough about it.
You know, we always overlook this, but Z-Packs has been doing sleeping bags.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. So it's Feathered Friends.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. They're not the first one to do a mummyless ultralight sleeping bag, for sure.
This is a funny comment from B3 Outdoors. Hey guys, I'm currently hiking in Alaska and camping in a school bus. I just killed a moose to eat, but I don't know how to preserve the meat. Wish me luck.
Smoke it. That's funny.
Okay. Justin just got the shirt.
Yeah. He sent me a message. He goes, you know, it'd be really cool if you sent me a hoodie. And I go, I'll send you a hoodie. He came on BSing. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
A lot of help.
If you ask us for stuff, we might just give it to you. They're super comfy too.
Yeah. Michelle Goulet says recommendations for an easier, shorter trail for beginners. I'm going to say this.
In Ohio?
No location specified, but
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
You're going to say Pictured Rocks.
Pictured Rocks, for sure. It's 40 miles flat.
Pictured Rocks is the best trail. If you're just getting into backpacking, or like if you're taking someone, Pictured Rocks is awesome. It's 42 miles. You don't have to do the whole thing. The first 20 miles is just view after view after view.
It's amazing.
And it's flat, and it's on pine needles the whole time. Yeah. It's incredible. Tons of people. The campsite reservation system can get a little weird. It's very, very crowded.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most popular places to go in Michigan, but
views and easy hiking.
Views, easy hiking. Couldn't recommend it enough. And we have videos We did 35 of it. We didn't do the whole thing.
Yeah.
But we have videos there if you want to see more of it.
Justin Outdoors says, would you classify the Hot 10 as a game changer piece of gear for winter? Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he goes in like legit winter. I mean, he's in the White Mountain. He's in mountains in winter. I mean, we're like in Ohio. It's very warm. It does change too. Like it changes the dynamic because you don't like we didn't have a fire outside. You know, like we're inside. You feel inside. I don't know. It does change the dynamic a little bit, but definitely a game changer.
B3 Outdoors, and I've kind of heard of this before. East Tennessee has good winter fly fishing.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll have to check that out. Any specific spots, B3? Let us know. That's not terribly further from West Virginia.
Evan Hammond says, fly fishing backpacking trip sounds like you definitely need to come to Alberta.
Yeah.
There are some great lightweight float tubes available. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
We've float tubed before.
Yeah, we have. And we really we've done it a couple times. We really like the hybrid backpacking fishing trip. So we're always trying to do more of that sort of stuff.
Tech Redneck says, I live very close to Shavers Fork. Look at North Fork of Potomac, Elk River, all good.
Okay, I'm gonna remember this. We were looking at Shavers Fork. Thank you for the recommendation. He's taking a picture of the comment right now. Send that to the McKelvey brothers.
Yeah.
Thank you. Keep the West Virginia fly fishing tips coming.
Does California, this is from Mute Man, does California charge you a hiking tax when you hit their portion of the TRT? I think that's a joke.
I think that's just a joke.
But you never know with California sometimes.
Hey, man, if there's a way to tax it, California will find it.
G. Berg says, wow.
True story, though. True story. When you're driving, did you go through this?
Yeah, you have to go through the stops.
When you're driving from Nevada to California,
you have to go through the agricultural
You go through like a customs agricultural checkpoint.
Yes.
When I saw that, I was like, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah.
Like, why? They love spending tax dollars.
I know. G. Berg says, what about oddball trips like bike packing, going to try canoe camping?
I would love to do both of those.
Yep.
And I think we'll do one of those this year for sure. I would love to go bike packing, and I've been saying it for years. I want to go canoe camping. So
yeah,
or kayak camping, any sort of. I would love to do that. So,
Brittany Collins says the North Fork Mountain Trail in West Virginia is fantastic. You can do the whole thing in a weekend, and views from Chimney Top are awesome. We need to look at this trail.
Put that down. Take a picture of that one. All right, cool. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
We don't need to plan hikes anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone just does it for us. Really appreciate it.
Yep. DBT Tales and Trails. And by the way, DBT.
Hey, thanks for the email, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And by the way, I've been watching your channel, DBT. You guys crush Miles. Like, they crush Miles.
Really? I've only watched the Zaleski video.
No, they crush Miles.
Are they getting crushed?
No, you guys
they
look
handle
good.
it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you guys crush Miles. I like.
Hey, another Ohio backpacking crew.
Yeah.
Love it. He works in my school district.
Yeah.
So love it.
So he says, anybody else feel like Backcountry BSing is like a bar for all of us?
I don't know. It definitely turned into that. Yeah. I know. Yeah. Sometimes we have guests on that don't drink, and it's not awkward. It's all good. What else we got?
Let me see. Going through here. Lots of great comments. Appreciate everybody commenting. Looks like good conversation here. Here in California, we get taxed for everything.
You get a lot of taxes.
Williams River in West Virginia is popular.
Take a picture of that. I really appreciate all the fishing shout outs. It's really helpful. I'm gonna get my current events lined up.
No, so Lydon Chen says California grows so much in California that they are kind of legitimately feared damn near anything that could just disrupt it. I'm sorry, Alan said that, and then Lytton says California grows a ton of food that the ag checkpoints are needed to keep invasive species out.
So I did know I did, because when I got stopped at one of these, I was like, what is this, guys? So they did tell me it was because of invasive species. That's legit. And if people who don't know, they are correct in saying California grows a lot of food that is eaten here. Yeah. So I get it. But dude, I saw some of these checkpoints and they were more ridiculous than like going to Canada, like crossing an international border. So I get that it's needed. Absolutely. But I felt like I was going to get my asshole searched.
Outlands here. Restless says, stop ignoring my comments, Andy. I haven't seen your comments.
Hey, Restless Outdoors has a Patreon now.
Yes. You can see all the stuff that he got kicked off of YouTube for.
You can pay $1 and be a Patreon. So, hey, something to check out. We should probably join it.
Oh, Bryce is here. Audio's on point tonight. Damn.
Bryce said that. Yeah. Bryce is like knows audio. So Bryce said that. I appreciate that. Bryce, we got to get you back in the studio, buddy. We only bought 2 of these mics though. So you get one of the old ones. They're too expensive.
You can buy one and bring it yourself.
Yeah, they're just way too expensive. They do sound great though.
Yeah.
I can be just like all over the place.
Oh, Travis says Williams River is near the Cranberry. Also, Cherry River in West Virginia is great. Travis, of course.
Yeah, Travis would know. Yeah, Travis would know. Yeah. Just let me know when we're ready for current events.
Current events, go.
All right, so I got one here. I should do the screen share. Oh, 404 not found. Okay, so if you haven't seen me do the current events thing, basically I just like keep an eye out for like current events in the outdoor space. They're not necessarily backpacking. So the first current event is we had the first winter summit of K2, not by Colin O'Brady.
I've been following his stories.
So and this kind of like, okay, so first off, if you're not familiar with K2, second highest mountain, right?
Way more dangerous too than Everest.
So K2, all these like high ass mountains are in Nepal, Pakistan, in the Himalayas. K2 is, I think, hold on, I'll bring the screen share up so you guys can see
28.
What I'm doing here.
Did it say 28,000? Yeah.
Yeah. So K2 is the second highest mountain, right? I got squint. Yeah, second highest mountain. Anyway, K2 is the most dangerous mountain to climb
by far.
Dude, this is
way more technical.
Do you know how many people die doing this?
Probably more than Everest.
Dude, it's what's good? It's literally like 1 in 6 die.
Really?
It's crazy high.
And I think I heard too, like, since it's so steep and technical, like when you die on K2, you just like fall off the mountain.
The same with Everest though. They just leave you.
Well, no. Like Everest, you just like collapse and you just lay there.
I bet this has it. So K2, because it's so dangerous, had previously never been summited in the winter. Now recently,
oh, I didn't know about that.
And this brings up honestly a cooler story. So here we go. So there's a bunch of groups going after this in the winter currently, but a group of climbers just did it a couple weeks ago. And the cool part about this,
in winter without supplemental oxygen.
Yeah. So the cool thing about this is, one, they did it in the winter, but the other cool thing is there's kind of this interesting dichotomy in alpine sports where you have the Sherpas and the climbers.
Yeah. And
the Sherpas are doing the work. And the climbers are getting the fame.
I know. Oh, yeah.
This is a group of Sherpas.
That's awesome.
Led by this guy named Nims. He's pretty famous.
We follow him on Instagram.
Well, I followed him after all this. And it's a cool story because it's a group of Pakistani climbers, and it's a lot of people with Sherpa heritage. It's not famous alpinists that are doing this. So it's a very cool story, and he did it without oxygen. But it's never been done in the past in the winter. I thought that was pretty cool, and it's cool that Sherpas, they obviously get paid, but everybody knows everybody knows his name. What's his name? Tenzing Norgay.
Yeah.
Everybody knows him. He was Edmund Hillary's Sherpa, right? If I get that right.
Maybe.
And he's a famous Sherpa that climbed Everest. But the point of this is most of the time the Sherpas kind of get just like scraped under the table. And they don't get any
oxygen.
And they're just like doing all the actual work. So it was
Putting
cool to
ropes
see.
up.
Yeah, they do the ropes. It was cool to see a group of them with Sherpa heritage be the first ones to do this. I thought that was cool. First current event.
Yeah. Okay, let's get this current event out of the way because everybody talks about it and everybody.
Oh, I didn't even have that on the current event. But you want to talk finance?
No, it's not that. It's outdoors related.
Which one?
And this is on CNN now.
Wait, which one?
The Appalachian Trail Conservancy recommends postponing your through hike to 2022.
Does the PCT Association?
No. You can get PCT permit.
Okay, let's pull this up.
Yeah.
ATCA 2021.
Do CNN or something. Yeah, somebody was like, oh, they're going to talk about it. Yep, we are.
Oh, shit, there it is. A message to AT hikers.
Yeah. Okay,
all right. I didn't know this. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. A message to all AT hikers in 2021. Blah, blah, blah. Do I have to read this? Is the consensus do it?
Well, yeah.
I mean, the PCT is literally giving out through hiking permits right now.
But some of the reasons why... Maybe I'm just not educated on it, but some of the reasons why they say don't do it is interesting. Like one of the reasons they say is like some of the shelters are closed.
They're not saying don't do it. They're just saying spread out.
Yeah.
Consider alternatives. I mean, they're basically telling you to not do it without telling you not to not do it.
Right. If you look at the CNN article, it's a little different than this, but shocker. But they were like, some of the shelters are going to be closed, which will force people to carry more gear, which could be.
So I'm just trying to make sure. Bear with me while I make sure I'm okay. The Appalachian Trail ATCA recommends that hikers delay. Okay. That really sucks. Well, first off, if you do through hike the AT now, you look like an a-hole. And that sucks. Because I get it, man. I know people that wanted to hike it last year and didn't because of COVID. And they're like, oh, we'll just push it to 2021. And now they're saying not to do it. So that sucks. But now, if you do it, you do look kind of like an a-hole. Whereas the PCT Association is handing out through hiking permits. So I didn't know this. This is a current event you brought to the table. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if I was planning a through hike, I might, I don't know. Well, you get a lot of heat for doing it now.
They're not saying don't do it. And one of the things in the article too is
they're saying recommending don't doing it.
They're saying, well, the Appalachian Trail is really crowded right now, so you're going to run into a lot of people because all these states are telling people to get outdoors.
Is that one of their things?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I would just say be smart people. I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you got to assume what people are gearing up now to do this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if I was planning to do the hike in 2020 and then pushed it to 2021, I'd be doing it. I wouldn't be pushing it another year. But yeah, that's a tough situation. Okay, so the thing I thought Andy was going to talk about is this.
I mean, do we really need to talk about this?
Do you know what's going on?
Yes, I know what's going on.
I got a buy order on Monday.
I know. I can't believe you're spending that much money on it too. You'll make a tiny bit, but you're not gonna crush it.
I'm assuming I'll lose it all. I'm standing in support of this.
No, I agree. I'm 100% in support of this.
Okay, so I don't want to get into this. If you don't know what's happening in the financial markets right now, all I got to show you is this.
The crazy thing too is my wife and I use Robinhood, and we're thinking about moving everything.
I pulled everything out of Robinhood.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I had true story. I had $250 in Robinhood, so I had nothing in Robinhood.
We have a decent amount in Robinhood.
Pull it out, dude.
Yeah, we are.
There's no reason you shouldn't have that in Vanguard. And I don't work for Vanguard, but yeah, guess what? Vanguard didn't shut down trading on GameStop. Yeah, just saying.
Yeah. All right, let's move on from this. I don't want to talk about this. This is all over.
It's great.
I know. I love it.
If you don't know what's happening with this right now, just Google it. Yeah. It's amazing, incredible. Shows you the power of the internet. Yep. And I love it. I have another current event. Okay. If you're not ready,
go for it.
Okay. So this is something. Let me pull it up. This is something that actually impacts YouTubers. I actually had a third current event, but it ties into our guest next week. And I'm not going to say it because if I said it,
this is hilarious.
What?
I don't know if this is a troll or if this is real. There's a person in here called Catholic Hiker, and they say these brothers in channel supports Joe Biden and abortions.
Does Joe Biden support abortions?
I didn't think he was. I thought he was a super Catholic.
I thought he was a Catholic. That makes no sense. Okay, so this is something that a second Catholic president. Did you know that?
Yes.
I can't
No,
believe.
not second. I didn't know that.
I think because JFK was the first one.
Yeah, I thought
I
that.
can't believe we haven't had more Catholic presidents. Crazy. There's a lot of Catholics. Okay, so this is something that actually impacts the YouTube community. So something that happened last year. Okay, so if you don't know this, like van life is super hot right now.
Yeah, so hot.
So what had happened is a couple of these, one prominent van life YouTube channel, and I'm not going to talk about who. They obviously cruising around the national parks, making van life videos about it. And the National Park Service hit them with some sort of cease and desist or fine or something because there is currently some sort of regulation that states that if you're in a national park and you're filming for profit, you need a commercial filming permit, which when you think about it, totally makes sense. If you're a film crew, if you're Michael Bay or Steven Spielberg and you want to film in Yellowstone or Smoky Mountains or anything like that, like they want you to have a permit and pay money to bring in hundreds of people to film stuff. This regulation was created far before YouTube existed, but they came after some YouTubers and in defense of the Park Service. And now I guess Isle Royale, Andy and I rarely film inside national parks. We do stuff in national forests.
We did Isle Royale. Yeah.
So the National Park Service was like, hey, guys, you're profiting off of our product. Pay us. And obviously the counterpoint is,
that's ours.
The counterpoint is my tax dollars pay for this bitch.
That's public land.
That's public land.
So
anyway, a judge, I forget where, a DC federal judge actually found it unconstitutional that the Park Service is cracking down on YouTube specifically. So that's kind of a win for the YouTubers. And really, what the judge didn't say, hey, let these YouTubers go film there for free. The judge said, hey, you need a different strategy here. Like us filming on our phones is a hell of a lot different than Michael Bay coming in there.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be treated the same. And currently they are.
Yeah, and that's crap.
That's crap. So basically the judge didn't say, hey, you shouldn't be charging these YouTubers. The judge really said, hey, you need to come up with a different system because this is not the same. But it is a win. Oh, it's a win for people like us.
This is interesting. Hiker G16 said Joey from My Own Frontier got fined for filming in Yellowstone.
Yeah.
And they forced him to take down his videos.
Yeah. And I didn't know that. I had known of a couple like million subscriber channels for van life that got hit with this. I didn't know that. So hopefully, Joey, hopefully this helps you. It's a good win for content creators. I understand both sides. Andy and I have filmed we did Smoky Mountains.
Yeah.
Smoky Mountains we filmed in. So we filmed 2 trip videos in national parks. I get their side of it. We weren't trashing the park. I totally get if you want to bring a film crew in and spend months filming there, you need to get a permit.
But somebody totally doing like, look at the beauty of the Smokies. Look how amazing it is. Like, give me a break.
And this was, and in defense, this entire court battle did not get brought up because of YouTube channels. It was actually an indie film director, Gordon Price. He was directing an indie film. And he was like, hey, I just got a couple people here. Like, and listening to these people, obviously the government runs it. So getting a permit, doing all this, it's like a multi-month long BS process that takes forever. And this guy's like, dude, I'm trying to shoot a little indie film here. Like, come on.
Yeah. I see the difficulty in creating a rule to draw the line. So
They're just the Park Service has to get with the times and understand that, hey, if I want to shoot a YouTube video there, and hey, I want to shoot a video for Universal Studios, like treat us differently because it's different.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Devin just said a park ranger gave Jason Kiordage, who's a YouTube overlander, a hard time for filming in Capitol Reef and asked him to stop filming.
I mean, honest to God, right now, I would just say don't film in national parks until, I mean, this is a federal judge ruling. This is not law.
Yeah.
It's not like you can just like show this to the park ranger and be like, hey, don't harass me. It's not going to work that way. All it's going to say is if you get a ticket and you fight it in the court system, the courts potentially are on your side.
Yeah.
Andy and I, luckily, I mean, we do all of our stuff in national forests, which I think probably do fall under the jurisdiction of the Park Service. So it might still fall under this.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure something out.
Luckily, I mean, come on. We got like 13,000 subs. They don't give a shit about us. But current event, outdoorsy.
No, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I didn't know about that.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I have another current event, but it will give away our guest next week.
No.
So I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
We've
already been going over an hour.
Yeah, people are gambling on the fact that you're going to have too much to drink.
No. Andy's keeping me honest. I will post it on Instagram and
I'm excited.
Trust me, we are not making too big of a deal of this.
Yeah.
This might be the most interesting podcast we ever do.
Yeah. Pencil off your Friday evening.
Friday at 7. Just come back. I promise you on Instagram next Friday, I will tell you who it is. Like prior to 7.
Yeah.
So you don't have to come here at 7. But it's going to be awesome.
I'm excited.
We're going to uncover some truths.
And like I said, I'm reading a book right now.
Yeah, so you're prepping.
Yeah.
I'm not prepping that much.
Yeah.
You're prepping. All right. We got anything else?
Not a whole lot.
We didn't really talk a ton of. There's more hiking plans we didn't
National
get to.
forests are, oh wait, hold on. Mute Man says national forests are managed by the Forest Service, not the Park Service.
Okay.
Excellent.
Good to know. So we're good to go. All right.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Is that
Hey,
it?
we should get the hot tent out this weekend. It's supposed to start snowing tomorrow till like Monday.
We should, but
Yeah, I know.
we'll probably go out 2 weeks probably.
Yeah.
We've been taking this week. We've been going every other weekend.
I've got a checklist of stuff I want to do differently with the hot tent next time.
Well, what is that?
I want to be like get the fire going immediately, start building
Like
the
by
cold.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get smaller wood processed down. So I got some ideas.
You got some ideas?
And some cool food ideas too.
Well, I think everyone would like to hear that.
Like I don't know.
Grill some stuff?
Yeah, we're gonna
skillet
skillet steaks with butter and rosemary
and
garlic.
Ooh,
yeah,
that sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
Smoke a brisket in the hot tent. That's what someone. You know how long that would take?
It could be done.
It could be done.
It could be done. All right.
It could be done.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Shug is not coming on. Andrew Sherman. There's been a couple comments. It's
no,
not Shug.
Here's what I'll say about this. No, it's not a YouTuber. It is literally a tenured professor at a university who writes books. So it's an actual expert.
Oh, Dan Hickman, this is a great comment, says, did you guys talk about the axes and how they're working out?
No, but we will. So Andy, so this is the Grand Force Brooks Small Forest Axe.
Fantastic. Recommendation by Devin.
Yeah. I took the hot tent out with my dad, and then Andy and I took the hot tent out, and both times one of these came. We had different experiences with it. I used the crap out of this axe. And one of the reasons was one for splitting big logs, but the biggest reason is I've found so in the hot tent, and you can see I found a stick like that thick, and you could saw it. It was just thick enough where you couldn't break it over your knee or anything super easily. And I used this thing to just process it like that. And it worked great. The last trip, Andy processed all the wood and you used the saw more, correct?
Well, yeah, I was splitting with the axe and I'm a noob. So,
but the axe is great. It's 2 pounds. So it's not super heavy, but it's not light.
No.
But luckily there's 2 of us. So I bring the saw, he brings the axe. And I do think you gotta have both.
Yeah, you need to have the saw is more critical, to be honest. Saw is more critical because you got to get stuff really small, but then getting those sticks split in half so that there's more surface area, quicker to burn.
This axe is sick.
Oh, it's a beautiful axe. Devin was not lying.
It's a beautiful axe. It's about $180, so it is not cheap, but it is fantastic. And
I've never owned an axe before, and it is dangerous.
It's dangerous. It is, I mean, razor sharp. I'm not even going to take this off. And it's something you can pass this down. Yeah. I mean, it's a Swedish hand forged axe, and it worked great. And I'm not good with axes at all. Good comment.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
We can call it there.
Call it?
Yeah, we can call it.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. 8:47.
Well over an hour. Yeah, we've got I'm not going to say who we have.
Yeah.
I know I said I would.
But we're just so excited.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be super fun.
Yeah.
We got a good list of people. We're going to have YouTubers on this show. I don't know if we'll do it every week. We've been doing it every week. We'll be back next week. Thank you all for joining. We got a solid list of guests coming up. Any final words?
No. Fun videos coming out soon. Like I said, Kevin and I were just in the hot tent doing some fun stuff, learning. So that'll be out soon.
There's a lot of people here.
Yeah, we're getting trolled. We're getting trolled too. This is hilarious.
Someone say we were Biden shills?
Yeah.
Really? We don't come off that lib. Interesting.
I don't know. Yeah, Devin took care of the Catholic hiker or whatever that was trolling.
I'm being trolled by the Catholics. I love it. We've been trolled by way worse.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I think we'll end it there.
Yep.
Thank you all for joining. Come back next Friday at this exact same time. I promise you, you will not be disappointed.
Yeah. Bring your tinfoil.
Bring your tinfoil. Bring your questions. And we will see everybody next week.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.